Hey toy fans, Aaron here. Today we're going to take a look at the 3 3/4 inch Ellis figure from the Clone Wars animated series. This is the Dave Filoni one, not the Tartakovsky series. So let's head to that table and check this one out. First up, a look at the card, and I think this is the first time I reviewed a figure from the Shadows of the Dark Side line, and that kind of got you two brands, if you will, within that line. You had the Clone Wars lines, that was just strictly the animated show figures, which you see stated Clone Wars underneath that Star Wars logo, and then the rest of the figures that were not part of the Clone Wars, it was just plain, just that Star Wars logo on there. On the right side of the card, you got very nice artwork of Ellis from the Clone Wars cartoon. And then through the blister, of course, you see the figure with the two included accessories, the blaster rifle and the regular blaster. And then with this line came what they called a galactic battle game. And you know what? I never played these games, so I don't know much about it. But anyways, you see the card with its various abilities and whatnot. It had a dice included. Back on that left side underneath the figure, you had an advertisement for a free 30-day membership to the Clone Wars adventures. And on the very bottom left side, you got his name along with CW47, which was his number in the lineup. And just to kind of show off this bubble a little bit more, as you can see, it is rather thick. The part where the figure is sticks out much further. And then you got a nice little indent where that card battle game is. It is a lot of space used up just for air, really, but I kind of like the way this looks. Just nice dimension to it and stuff. Anyways, enough of that. On to the back side, top left corner, you got CW47 and his name again. And then the rest of the top half of this card is a bio about Ellis with a quick shot of him as you saw him in the cartoon, and then an image of the figure itself. Bottom half of the card, you got a list of 4 other figures that were also available at the time. And then a brief advertisement off to the right side about this galactic battle card game, and showing you that, how you stick the figures on a little base and slide the card in there. And now taking a look at the figure out of the packaging, it's a pretty good looking figure. Now, he's done in the animated style, and things are rather simple looking, but I don't mean that in a bad way. It's just he's very representative of what you saw in the cartoon. Looking in on the head area, I think the sculpting is just nailed perfectly to what we saw of him on the show. I like the green color to the figure, and there's just this slight gray wash or something over the entire head of the figure. Just gives it a nice little texturing, a bit of life, I would say. And then you got a touch of pink for the eyes, but aside from that, it's really all about the sculpt here. Just nice facial features sculpted in there. Through the chest area, it's got that tan colored coat on. A little bit of yellow painting in there for around the shoulder area, backside of the neck and stuff. And then he's got that bandolier strap running around his shoulders. Nice paint separation to that strap, and then you can see the little pouch there. No special painting on that pouch, and I honestly don't remember if it should have any paint to it or not. Maybe it's supposed to blend in with the uniform, I don't know. But you can see at that buckle area of the strap that you do have just a touch of silver painting there, and you can even see it a little bit on the backside. Through the arm area, he's got this green shirt on. You got, decent sculpting through there for the arms. On the shoulder area of his right arm, he's got a little strap with a brown pouch painted on there. On his left bicep area, he's got some sort of red emblem painted in there. And then a little gauntlet on his left forearm with some nice white painting. And even a little bits of red and green dots painted in on the side of that with another red emblem painted in on there. Through the waist area, sculpted into that bottom coat piece is a Clone Trooper belt. The belt is not a separate piece, so you're not taking that off or anything, but a pretty nice paint job through that area with that red belt underneath. And of course, sculpted in off to the side is a holster where you can place that blaster. Looking through the leg area, gray pants. Again, simple sculpting through this area. You do have a strap sculpted into the top of his right thigh. Nice painting to that. I'm guessing the idea is it's supposed to be part of the holster, although it's not really sculpted together or anything. It's probably just more looks at this point. It's not attached to the holster itself. And you get to the lower parts of the legs where he's got these high brown colored boots on. I'm guessing that's part of the boots. Touch of laces sculpted in at the top of that area. And then for the actual shoe part of that boot, just dark gray paint job. As far as the articulation on the figure, the head is on the ball joint, so it's going to wrap all the way around without a problem. That head's going to nod up and down and some side to side. Now, as far as the shoulder articulation, kind of the top part of his sleeve here actually rotates around. So as you can see, I turn that upside down, and then within that part right there, you can move the arm and not move the sleeve. That's an interesting amount of turning, because as you move it around, you can accidentally leave the top of his shirt upside down and then have the shoulder come down. So otherwise, though, the arms do extend straight out. You get your rotation, like I said. And as far as the elbow area, of course, you can straighten that arm out and get them to bend almost 90 degrees, and then you also got your swiveling in there side to side. And then for the wrists, both of them do spin all the way around, so plenty of articulation through there. At the waist area, of course, you can spin the figure all the way around. And then for the legs, because he's got that slit, you're going to be able to bring those legs straight out, just a little bit back. And then at the knee area, single joint in there, but still you get a good bend. And then of course you can swivel that leg around, and no foot articulation. And as far as accessories for Ellis, he does come with 2 weapons. First up, this blaster pistol. Just a touch of detailing sculpted in there for the barrel end, and then a little bit at the handle area of the gun. Otherwise, as far as painting, as you can see, touches silver at the barrel, and then the rest is black. For the most part, it fits pretty nicely in his hand. Touch loose, but it's staying in there. And then he does have the holster on his side that I showed earlier. This weapon slides pretty nicely right in there. And next up, he's got the blaster rifle. A little bit more sculpting to this thing. You got a touch of detailing on the handle area, and then through that middle barrel area, whatever. I don't know my gun parts here. And of course, you see the scope area up top, and then you got some round bits sculpted in at the end of the rifle. As you can see, you got a touch of silver painting along the midsection of the gun and at the barrel end. And now, for the most part, once you get it in his hand, he holds it quite nicely. It is just a little tricky getting those fingers wrapping around that handle area, though. And then otherwise, he does come with this dice game and stand. You know, I'm not into these games, so I can't really speak much to this. But you got a nice little blue dice here with some white stuff, printed symbols and stuff on there. Then you got this card, which, again, I'm not a gamer. I don't know what you do with it, but hey, that's what you get. And then, of course, you got this nifty stand. Now, that I actually like. You got 2 peg holes on there. You can place your figure on there. Holds them up nicely, and you got a little slot that, whatever the idea of this game is, you can slide your card right in there. So overall, this is a pretty good looking figure. I like that they pulled one out of an episode, and as I recall, it was a pretty good episode. Like, it was an origin story of a squad of clone troopers, I believe. I could totally be wrong though. And as I've said before, it's always great to see alien and background characters brought out into the action figure line from the shows and the movies. And so that wraps up this look at the Ellis figure from the Clone Wars. I'd love to know what your thoughts are on this figure in the comment section below. And as always, thanks for watching.